Hi everybody, this is Arkady Frekhtman and I'm here with
Richard Mogg, trial counsel for the firm.
Okay, we're here from F&A Injury Lawyers and we're going to talk about a recent $2.2 million settlement, and this video is all about the opening statement in this trial.
What's an opening statement? An opening statement is very important, viewers, because it's our chance to explain to the jury what we believe the evidence is going to show. A judge will make sure that a trial lawyer, when they speak to the jury, puts it in that phraseology. We believe the evidence will clearly show you that our client did not cause this accident, which involved a loose manhole cover, which was the responsibility of the defendant. We believe the evidence is going to clearly show you by medical records, by medical testimony, that the accident caused our client serious injuries to his neck and low back, which caused him to have surgery. And we believe the evidence is going to clearly show you that there are hard numbers, hard monetary numbers that our client will have to spend for the rest of his life so he can pay for his future medical care. And we believe the evidence is going to show you in your hearts and in your minds and in common sense that he's entitled to money justice in this case for his past pain and suffering, for his future pain and suffering.
Yeah, I'd like to start an opening statement just by thanking the jurors and telling them that, thank you for being here. You are the reason we're here. And then by the end of this trial, you will know what we know and you will see what we see. And, who are we suing and why? And then I was going to take them to a room inside Con Ed and say there's a worker in this room and this is a Con Ed building. And this worker gets a notice from the city and the notice says defective hardware on the street. When cars drive over, this manhole becomes loose and it wobbles and it shakes. And then at this point, this worker, an employee of Con Ed, has a choice. She can send the construction crew out there to fix it, to either inspect, detect if there's a problem, and then correct. And that's what they do, right? They're the construction unit. Or she could do nothing. And what does she do? And then I was going to turn to the date of the accident, July 13th, and say plaintiff was driving down the street. He saw he's going to pick up his wife. She's been working at this nursing home, cleaning it for 30 years. They see each other, their eyes meet, they smile through the glass of the lobby. She gets into the car, it's double parked. He drives down the street about 70 feet. All of a sudden, boom, there's an explosion. The car goes up in the air. His head hits the roof. His body slams back down into the seat. What's going on? He gets out and he sees this 300-pound manhole cover upside down next to the hole, and it acted like a ramp. It threw his car into the air, and then go through some of the medical care and go through basically the way that he was affected. I also had some depositions of the defendants where the defendants admitted a lot of negligence. I was going to read through some of those and then go through basically the liability, just to really firm up the liability to show that our client was not at fault and Con Ed was at fault. And then basically get into the damages and get into some themes, like there's a theme of shame or humiliation, of being disrespected by others because of a life-changing forever injury. Themes like being a burden to others and not being the person you were before. Like when you look in the mirror, you're a different person. And also the fact that, you always have pain, especially if you have a life-changing forever injury to your lower back, you always are gonna have pain. And that's almost like a pilot light. It's always on and you always have this pilot light pain, but on some days it flares up and it gets really worse. So I was gonna go through a little bit of the medical treatment, about the injury, about all of the damages, and then basically wrap it up. I think an opening statement in a case like this probably would be about half hour to no more than 1 hour, something like that, and really show kind of some of these themes, maybe tell a few stories. That way it's not too heavy on the medicine because they're gonna get that from the doctors later on, and it's not too boring, but it kind of keeps them engaged and shows them what the evidence in a trial will show. But you want them on your side. You want them almost, feeling for the plaintiff. And the other thing I like to do in an opening statement is I like to preempt, right, what the defendant is going to do. So I almost, when I do the opening statement, I ask, before coming to trial, we had to consider and then I would give maybe a defense point, like the defendants in this case had a biomechanical expert to say that, oh, the forces involved could not have caused this, or this was not caused by this crash, this was degenerative changes. So I would say, like, before coming to court, we had to consider, was this caused by the normal painless aging process? And then, explain why not and things like that.
And as Arkady mentioned, we're trying to relate to the jury exactly what we want them to think during the entire case. So while we may not get into the specifics of the medicals because they're going to hear it, we do want them to know this is a devastating accident because it changed our client's life forever. There's no way around it. You want that jury, as Arkady said, going with you as we start to take testimony. You almost want them looking like if you're watching a baseball game and you see the pitcher wind up, you're expecting that fastball. You want them to expect when that first witness takes the stand, we're going to hear some of the stuff that Arkady or Rick told this jury. That's a big part of opening statement.
So I hope this was helpful. Let us know what questions you have. If you have any questions, you could always text me. It's 347-566-9595. Our goal is helping serious injury victims and families, and we are here for you.